Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Night Talk. And is today finally the day for Battle Styles to come back? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the recent singles market just exploding. And some cards that I own, we're going to go over them. And this is what kind of prompted me to make this video. So I was thinking about making a video, what to do for tonight. Well, I was going through my singles and I'm like, let's make a video on the singles that I've bought that have recently went up from just kind of waiting. And I started going through the pile of singles that I own that have went up, and it's literally this thick. Yeah. So, quite a long episode that we're going to have tonight. So you might as well buckle in and grab your popcorn. And we're going to talk about some cards that have recently went up that has made me want to make this video. The Tyranitar from Battle Styles has actually went up tremendously. A card that I've always said has been slept on, and a set that has still, in my opinion, been heavily slept on. And I want a lot of you to look at it. A lot of you guys have been in this for 4 years. Battle Styles, a lot of you shrugged at buying it for $160 a booster box. And now it is approaching $300. Just throwing it out there. A lot of people shrugged at it like it was the worst set of all time, when there are tremendously worse sets. And now we are all pretty inclined to pay $200 for a box if we see it. I'm just saying, or $250. So crazy how market opinions do change. That's a real thing. So cards that have went up, and I want to really talk to you guys on a deeper level about buying some of these and not buying some of them, and the risks behind buying them, and why buying singles is fucking annoying, but why it can kind of be rewarding, I guess. But it's just, I'll explain what happens though. So right now, a lot of you see Obsidian Flames Charizard. It just went from like $40. I was calling that card at 42. I don't know. I was going to buy like 5 or 10 copies, and I don't know why I didn't. It's like $120 now. The Gardevoir was another card from Paldean Fates that I thought was kind of slept on. And there's a few others we're going to go over. And they've all spiked. Mew VMAX was another one I've talked about on this channel. But they've all went up tremendously. And Ghastly, even from Temporal Forces, I still think that card's very undervalued. Everyone was crying it was overvalued at 30. Now it's 60. And even though that gain sounds nice, and this is why I want to break it down for you. Even though you bought it for 30 and all these charts showing that the price goes up, the reality of selling that card, if it's not near mint for 60, is very difficult. And it's just very difficult to find buyers. Even though you made a $30 gain, it's still really hard to recognize those gains. And that's where liquidity starts to become a real factor, because anyone really throwing money in Pokemon, they generally want to throw it into sealed. So it can be very tough to recognize your gains once you get them. And then you end up like me with like $5,000 in singles sitting around that you're kind of like, I'm all right that they're there, but I'm kind of like, ugh. But so another card I want to talk about is Dragonite V from Evolving Skies. It was an $80 card. It is now selling for $400. Dragonite fucking V, guys. Can you believe that? So anyway, we're going to go over cards that have recently kind of went up. Iron Moth, I was saying to buy this on this channel. I don't know if it's went up a ton, but we're going to get to some that have. Chi-Yu, I was buying these for like $10, around like $25. Hydro Dragon, even this card has went up a lot. It was, I forget, it was like, what was it, 80? I think it's like 91, which isn't a tremendous gain, but still, I still wouldn't go out and buy it unless they're just mint copies. But Dragonair, this card's went up a good bit, more than I ever thought it would. And Venusaur, one of the main reasons I actually made this video, because if you were just around when these were $50, and I have 3 of them, I bought at 50, they went up to 85, and then they dropped back down to 50, and I just still kind of held them because and that's what I mean with these cards, is like I wanted to unload my Venusaur at 85, but I didn't know anyone to really buy it, And two of them are in like really mint condition, so I didn't really want to sell those ones. So you kind of get in this boat of like, no matter where the price goes, they still just kind of sit in your collection unless you really put heavy effort into selling them. And I mean, you can do that, but it's just a lot of work, man. And you have to remember that in the singles market. Now, here's singles I still think are really undervalued is Gloom. I still think this card, I don't know if it went up a lot, but it's still really a beautiful card for how cheap it is. Metagross, I still think is a card that's going to spike a lot just because, dude, the art on it's fucking incredible. I don't even have to say anything else with that card. Charizard Blaziken, this has already been a card that was like $15. It's now like $80. I actually got that out of a box, surprisingly. Some mystery box. I pulled that, which is wild. Now, this is a card I'm going to tell you to invest heavily in, actually. And this is Gardevoir. Like, if you're going to get one of the cards, this is one of the Gardevoirs that I think will pump to over $100 card. If you're going to buy any Squirtle from Stellar Crown, this card was just overly slept on for the longest time, and I own 3 of them. They were as low as $40 to $50, and I think they're back up to 70 or 80 now. Deoxys VMAX, I still think this card from Crown Zenith is heavily slept on. It should be over $100. And another card I just recently bought is Morty's Conviction. I bought this at the all-time low because I knew this card would probably do big things. I forget, I bought it out of someone's collection. Oh, when I bought the Fusion Strike, I got it for like $20 or something like that, and it's like $50 now. Morty's Conviction up a lot. Iron Crown EX, another card. I say, dude, these are like $40. They might own them to 60 now. This is just a card that you should just fucking buy and just say fuck it. It's just worth having in your personal collection. That it's just too cool not to get it. It's honestly one of my personal favorite arts of Pokemon, and I know that says a lot. I know I say that about a lot of cards, but there's just something with the moon being so good in this that I personally like this. Like, in my opinion, this card is like with Moonbreon levels. I know you guys will fucking hate me for that, but like, just look how good it is. It's just brokenly good, and it's only $40 to $60. I think I paid $40 for mine, and mine is mint, very mint. Well, wait, maybe not anymore. No, it's still really mint. But it's just one of those cards that it's so cheap and it's so good looking that it's just really worth picking up. And I might grab 2 or 3 more of these copies and just keep it. Alakazam, another one. I still feel so cheap at the $40 price point. I still think you'll see that be like a $100 card. You know, same with when we got Venusaur. We sit on that one. Still think Venusaur should be about $100. And Birthday Pikachu. This is another card I want to emphasize to grab. If you find them raw in perfect condition, you should just buy them. Period. And the next one, I wanted to make a really important discussion on this, is Umbreon from Brilliant Stars. And this card has been heavily slept on. Look how cool the eyes are. They like light up red. I think it's like it's $70. I don't know if it's seen another run yet or not, but in my opinion, it should be like $150 to $200 card. I mean, the art on it really is that beautiful. And I actually sold mine like an idiot, like the idiot I am. And I sold it for like $70 or $80, and I just rebought it back for $70 or $80. And that's kind of where we're at. So that's just another card that I had to buy back. I really feel like it's so undervalued. When you compare it to like Dragonite going crazy from evolving, I think that Umbreon's hella underrated. Erica's Invitation's another one. Like, these are only a $6 card that I just don't think you can go wrong with buying. And RCSV, this card was only like $5. It's not like a $25 to $30 card. So, yeah, a lot of cards just seeing mega spikes. And I mean, like I said, almost every card I picked in here was a winner. Mew VMAX, another one. Bought that for like, you guys know the story on that, 80, and it's like fucking really expensive now. And I did Erica's Invitation. Drowsy. I still think, guys, the Drowsy is a hell of a pickup. If you're finding them for under $40, they're a steal, especially if they're mint. And Skarmory. So that's just a list of all of the cards that have kind of, like I said, went up, but it's like not enough to like mess around with flipping them. It's just kind of a keep them as like a trophy pride thing. I don't know. They're not really like worth fucking around flipping. I mean, like the Mew kind of is from 151 if you bought it for like $10 and it's now $80. Like that's a pretty good come up. But like I said, you got to find someone to buy it. You got to ship the card. And you just got to do a lot of fucking around unless you're doing a show. So it is still a lot of work to move singles unless you're, like I said, selling them at a table or, people in real life that come over and look at your collection or something. Like that's the only real way to move some of these smaller end singles. Like the high end singles, like, Gengar, Leafeon, like, yeah, these are all things you can flip on Marketplace or anywhere else. And you're good to go. You're getting your money back and, everything's good. But, like, when a $40 card goes to, like, $80, that sounds good. But if you paid $40 for it and you're having to go drive and meet somebody and do a bunch of fucking around, it's not really worth it. Because it's just so much, like, fucking around. By the time you spend, money on gas and stuff, like, yeah, you're $80 and meeting someone and talking to them for like an hour, setting the deal up for an hour, you'd have been better off just working at Chuck E. Cheese. So that's why, like, when singles go up, like, it's good, I guess, if you just bought like a lot of them. Like, if you bought a lot of gassers at 40 and now they're 60 and you bought like I don't know, like 10 or 20 of them, yeah, you're sitting in a good position to just hurry up and reflip them, I guess. But it's still just really a lot of fucking around. And that's why I just kind of stay with sealed, because even like if I buy a shitty set like Obsidian Flames that I really didn't like, I now can still just be like, hey, it's $300. I paid $160. I want fucking $250, and someone's gonna pay it. So, but when it comes to singles, it's like the only people that really want to buy them is if they're mint and they want to grade them at 10. So trying to resell 9s is just like a fucking nightmare. Or like a 9 condition and they have like a little, little spot on them or something. Like this Lickitung even right here. This was another card I wanted to say for this video that, like, for $10 or however much these are now, that is such a beautiful card for being so cheap. Like, just saying, if you find these in near mint condition, they're a pickup. But you can see, and you can't see it because my phone my light isn't on, but if you can see that, the 9 cards, if they're like a $40 card, they're just a pain in the ass to resell. And, it just becomes a headache. So that's my point. Be very cautious getting into a lot of these singles going up, like Charizard from Obsidian, if you're paying $120 for one. Because you really got to wait for it to go to like $200 for you to make any money. And is it going to happen? Who knows? So that's why I still say you're just better off going with sealed. And that's just where things are. So anyway, that's all we have for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. But just be careful in this market because, like I said, you end up with a stack of singles that you can't really sell. I mean, you can do a bundle, and that does help get rid of a bunch of them at once for money, but I don't know. Like, it's a pain in the ass. It really is. So, but it's still like a good thing to at least be exposed to and get into some singles, because it is worth grabbing them. I mean, like grabbing that Mew, when you really feel like something's undervalued, like Mew or Venusaur, it's still good to jump in, especially if you find a near mint copy and they're undervalued at that specific time. Like, all that comes into factor, like the specific timing. Like Mew had just dropped and I thought it was going to go up. It just dropped to 80 and I find a mint copy for 80. I'm in, So you just kind of got to operate like that. Go with the flow investing. Anyway, buy when it's down, buy when it's up. I mean, sell when it's up. Anyway, and then buy again when it's back down. Anyway, that's all we got for this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and we're out.